Wow. The Bears have the first pick in the draft. I mean, that hasn't happened since 1947. I'm not even I know Lynn wasn't alive. But I think she knows who that player was that was picked in that draft. But I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest. I don't know. And I'd like to know how Lynn feels about that, too. So this is the final show of the season of the Lowdown with Dan and Lynn. So let's go ahead and kick this shit off with Lynn. The star of the show is back after a couple of week hiatus. Lynn, it is so great to see you again. I missed you. I personally am sad. I'm sad because I'm not sure how to feel about this Bears season with the number one pick, and I'm also sad because this is my final podcast with you on our weekly basis during the season, and I know this lady bear over here is about to go into hibernation, so I'm just a little sad.
Well, thank you, and thanks for having me back. Yeah, we were gone a few weeks with the holidays, and then, I got screwed over by Southwest, assholes. One of those people that got stranded, didn't get to go to family, and then this was me. And although Dan did agree, last week I just couldn't do the show after Hamlin with the Bills got hurt until I could hear positive news. And then we did Thursday hear positive news. I had such a heavy heart on that incident watching it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and, I just felt like it wasn't right talking about football and having a good time or being mad about it when this kid's fighting for his life. But thank the Lord, he's doing great. So, and we are. Yeah. It's our last one for the season. Dan, my friend, is going to stick around longer. I'll be honest with you, buddy. Longtime fan. I've said it a million times. 47 years I've been a fan, and I've seen a lot. Obviously, good, bad, indifferent, whatever. This one exhausted me this season. I won't lie. Even after that idiot for 4 years with the bald visor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
not even going to get into that. I have zero thought.
Exactly. He had zero thought always. Sometimes it makes me nervous when I see him on the sidelines with Patrick Mahomes, because he's like way down on the low totem pole. So he works with the quarterbacks. And I yell, get away from him. He's going to ruin you, Mahomes.
No. I think the reason why this season has been so exhausting is because unlike the Fox era, when we went, 4-12, that season was so putrid that you almost didn't even really watch. You were kind of doing some. I know I can't speak for you, but I just had the TV on and I was kind of doing something else. And
I
would come in and check on it.
Around, yep, looking at other games and that kind
I'd be
of
in
stuff.
the garage. I just put it up on. I have a TV in the garage. I just put it up on the TV in the garage and work in the garage and barely pay attention to it. And then the season would be over and I'd be like, all right, well, we got the third pick. Until this asshole is about to trade it for the second for Trubisky, but that's a different story.
Yeah, we're definitely not going down that road again. I mean, we beat that dead horse.
This season, we were into every single game, and we had so many close games that we could have won and should have won, in my opinion. Things that people are discounting, the Justin Fields drives that never had. People are questioning Justin Fields and whether he can finish games. I've heard a lot of different journalists saying he hasn't. Habarkush saying he hasn't finished games, but he has had the team in the games all the way till the end of most of those games, and then something went wrong. A Velus Jones dropped punt after they had just, a dropped punt after they had just scored on the previous drive, and they were coming back to. They had the momentum, and then he fucking fumbles the ball.
That could have gone to
and then the goal line stances against the Commanders that they couldn't get in, and even the Packers. So I mean, the Marset fumble, is that what you said?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, you know what? The thing is, too, is it's not just him. It was the whole team that couldn't finish. And mostly, if you really, really go back and think about it and look at these games, had we had even a decent defense of line, we could have won more of those games, in my opinion. Yeah. When we started out of the gate, we couldn't score. We know that, or low, low, low. And then towards the middle of the season, we saw him getting comfortable. We saw this and that. We saw the confidence coming. And then we were up in the 20s, in the 30s a couple times points. But the defense did nothing. So they're the ones that could not finish. But you're right. It wasn't Justin. I would not blame him for that. It was the whole team. They didn't know how to finish. They didn't have the talent, quite honestly. I mean,
right.
You got to give Coach Flus credit. We only won 3. I think we should have won at least 5, if not 6. But you got to give that guy credit because they came in and played week in, week out. And you know what? The talent just wasn't there. I mean, they tried. Even this last game for the first half, they had a lot of backups in that game. A lot of people didn't realize that. They had a lot of backups in the Bears game because he wants to see what his backups look like. And but in that first half, they definitely played hard. I saw it. And so I give Coach Flus a lot of credit for that because, they could have all given up, right? But they didn't. And they know going into next year, so it was a tough year because going into this year, we didn't expect, except for somebody named Dan, we didn't expect a winning season. Most people didn't. We thought 500, a little bit under, but we thought we were going to see a little bit more because we had no idea the defense was that bad. We're Bears fans. We always have good, decent, above decent to good defense. So this was new for me. I mean, in all those years I've watched, at least we've had the defense that shows up.
I know. I thought 11-6. I know.
I know you did. I know.
But I mean,
and I've given you shit for it all season.
There was so many reasons why I actually believed in that. I mean, the strength of schedule seemed easy. We have an extra game in the season now. There's an extra playoff seed. The NFC is weak. And the fucking Eagles just came out of nowhere and took over the season by storm. And
yep.
And then the Lions came in and fucked up our season too.
Yeah. Well, they fucked up our season, but the Lions did us a big salad and they beat those assholes in the last game and knocked them out of the playoffs.
God, and the whole time I was watching that, I was just, man, I wish that was our head coach.
I wish the Lions actually would have gotten in. I was really kind of disappointed when I saw if Seattle won. So then I was rooting for, who did they play? I can't remember who Seattle played, but I was rooting for the other team to win. And because I wanted the Lions to go because they've never been to a Super Bowl. Well, they weren't going to go to a Super Bowl this year, but you know what I mean. But seeing Rodgers defeated it made my day. We got the number 1 pick. And Rodgers lost. What could you ask for? Right? But
yeah, let's talk about that number 1 pick.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I have mixed feelings. I wasn't gaga like everybody else because if we weren't going to have number 1, we had the number 2. So it's not like we went from 10 to 1, So I was like, I kept saying to my son, why are you like all giddy? This could, a couple weeks ago. And I said, we got the number 2. It doesn't really matter. We still are sitting in the driver's seat, but now definitely we're going to get, in my opinion, he's not going to draft number 1. He's going to trade down, hopefully stay in the top 10. I don't see him not going past because we need what's out there in defense or O-line, both of those. And we need a solid, especially a defensive guy that can plug up the hole on the run. You know what I'm saying? And I would love an edge rusher. That's something we have not had in quite a while.
Well, here's what worries me is this is a draft that doesn't have a clear-cut number 1 quarterback, a clear-cut number 1 defensive end, or a clear-cut number 1 tackle, left tackle. And in a way, it kind of pisses me off that we got the first pick in this fucking draft because if this was a Trevor Lawrence draft or an Andrew Luck draft, that first pick is right there for the taking. It's give me the best offer. There's going to be 10 teams trying to get to that pick.
Oh yeah.
But
Well,
I worry that now people know that the teams know that the Bears aren't going to draft a quarterback, and if there is, it would take a team that is in love with a certain quarterback, which I just don't see happening because there is 5 quarterbacks in this draft technically, or 4. I should say 4 that would be coming out of the first round, but these are guys that you can get at 5 or 7 or 4.
Right.
It's going to come down to do these teams think that the Texans are going to draft a quarterback, and if one of them really wants that quarterback that they think that they're going to draft,
they're going to go to the Texans.
That would be the only reason that it would take for them to trade up to the number 1 pick to get ahead of them, to take Bryce Young or to take Will Levis or whoever it is that.
Well, of course, Texans are going to take a quarterback. They need one. That's why Lovey it's not the only reason Lovey got fired. He probably got fired because he helped the Bears get the number 1 pick because he went for it on 4th down with like less than a minute.
No, he was actually told he was fired before the game.
Oh, well, no wonder he kept going for it on 4th down.
That was his motivation. He was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I wouldn't have fired him after 1 year. He walked into a complete mess because of that idiot Watson. They have no quarterback. And they're going to have the 1 or 2, well, now 2 pick. Could have had the number 1 pick, but I would have given him another year. Honestly, 1 and done for him. Lovey, we know is pretty good. I really would have. I know their defense was okay. They just didn't have a quarterback, and
he got shafted 2 times.
He did. I would have kept him.
I think he was 1 and done in Tampa too.
I think he was too, and I'm not a big fan of that. Come on, especially when you don't got the talent. What is he supposed to do? I mean, but thank you, Lovey. But yeah, see, that's the thing. It's what these teams need because you've got Texans, Carolina, who else? There's a lot of them that need them. Denver, there's a lot of teams that are going to Tampa Bay. They're going to need quarterbacks. Atlanta, they don't know what they're doing. Indianapolis, a lot of teams need quarterbacks out there.
I could see, and I'm not saying that I want this because if I'm going to be honest, I'm not a Lovey lover. I'm not a Lovey hater, but I'm not a Lovey lover.
I feel the same.
He did something unforgivable to me, which is Thomas Jones is a fucking team leader on that team in 2005, and he is ascending on that team, getting better. And the guy ran with heart. I love Thomas Jones, man. He is one of my top 10 favorite Bears of all time. And then they have Rex Grossman, who has ended his previous 2 seasons with injuries. And Aaron Rodgers, who's supposed to go number 1, is sitting there right there at the taking at number 4. And Lovie Smith decides that he pounds the table for Cedric Benson.
I know.
When they have Thomas Jones, and they could have had Aaron Rodgers when they had a twice injured, unreliable at that point Rex Grossman, who soon we found out he had baby hands and couldn't hold on to the fucking ball. So that's an unforgivable mistake. And the reason why per Greg Gabriel, why he wanted to draft him is because he was from Texas. And he loved Texas running back. Yeah, it was.
See,
he wasn't. And then he fires Ron Rivera after the Super Bowl.
That's where he lost me because
his ego
Ron
got ahead of him, and he started
fight at halftime. And Ron was telling him, "No, we've got to do this," and Lovey didn't like it, and that's why he ended up getting fired eventually down the road. He got too big of a head, like. Okay.
Exactly. No. His ego got the best of him.
Yeah.
But my brain can't help but go, fuck, I could see Eberflus going, he is my mentor's mentor. Rod Marinelli is his mentor, and Lovie Smith is, I believe, Rod Marinelli's mentor. So he's thinking, I could have my brain goes here. I hope this doesn't happen. But my brain goes, they're going to fire. Well, Eberflus kind of hinted to that in the press conference that there was going to be some changes made at the coaching staff. And at first I was thinking, they might fire the defensive line coach or something, because I think that they bowed out of hosting one of the East-West, the East-West Shrine game takes the two worst teams head coaches.
Yes, they do.
I think they bowed out of it because they're going to have a coaching change. And then I was thinking, like, well, if they fire their defensive line coach, couldn't they still coach the team if they lost the defensive line coach?
Defensive coach, I get what you're. Yes,
okay. If they fire the defensive coordinator, then would that be the reason? So then, and this is all just coming in right now. This is just
no. I get it.
I got in trouble. I got in trouble the other day on my Monday show. I got in trouble for pontificating, which is what I do all the time. And my wife actually, Kitty, had to jump in she produces that show. She had to jump in and be like, I'm sorry. I have to defend my husband because he pontificates all the time because I was getting myself in trouble. But I'm not trying to get myself in trouble here. I'm just pontificating again, which is probably going to get me in trouble with people watching. But my brain can't help wonder, would Eberflus fire Williams for the opportunity to hire like his mentor's mentor in Lovie Smith and bring him back to Chicago and Lovie Smith, the lore that they would bring, right? Because he got us the number 1 pick. Then they would get it. Then they would go get him a fucking some defensive players for that.
Yep.
Please no.
It won't probably happen, but if it did, there's only way that the Bears, because the upper office would remember what he did, how he tried to control the team, and I don't know if he would do that. I don't know, maybe, but I don't know. It seems to me they didn't end up on good terms when he left. So I mean, they did fire him. So
that's true.
So I don't know. But who I would like to get, but I don't know where he is that guy from a couple years ago. He went to Denver as the head coach. What's his name?
The guy that just got fired?
Yeah, no, he was fired a couple years ago. Vic
Fangio, yeah.
Vic Fangio, thank you. I would take him back.
Yeah, well, this is another thing I pontificated. Thank you for joining us, Kenny Ray. He says, Dan, pontificate till the cows come home, brother. So I'm going to pontificate again.
Yep, that's all right.
I brought up the question, well, would you fire this coaching staff for Jim Harbaugh or Sean Payton tomorrow? Here's the thing, though. If Sean Payton already has his coaching staff ready to go and Vic Fangio is reportedly his defensive coordinator. So if you were to go and let's just say, obviously it's not going to happen because they just had a fucking press conference. But if you fire it, well, Sean Payton would take a first-round pick
That's true.
He's still under contract, and we're not giving him the first pick in the draft. So
right. See, and we're not doing that.
So Jim Harbaugh. So if Jim Harbaugh could get Vic Fangio back, then we could go back to a 3-4 defense, and we could draft Will Anderson, who I think would fit that mold better than a 4-3 defensive end. So it's kind of like this limbo that I feel like we're stuck in with the first pick, because there's nothing that's blowing me away as a fan that's going to warrant anyone jumping up above the Texans to get a quarterback. Because even if the Texans are, and I think at first I was thinking, well, maybe the reason why the excitement for the first pick is so high is because if we are at 2 and the Texans take a quarterback, then it doesn't really matter at that point because nobody's going to trade there for a fucking quarterback because we already have one. So it would be best for us to be ahead of the Texans. And then if the Texans were going to draft a quarterback, they could jump ahead of them. But I just don't see the quarterback. There's 1A and 1B if you want to.
Yeah, I haven't really.
Pull straws.
I have to look more into them. I've heard people say, the guy who won the Heisman, for the little I know, I would take him over Bryce Young for sure, because I'm not. Alabama is another school that doesn't have a great track record of getting in the NFL when they get in there, just like Ohio State was my problem with Fields, and they don't have a good track record of bringing him in the NFL. So Bryce Young, no, not for me. But
well, hold on. Let me stop you right there. Right now they do, because of the Ryan Day, the head coach of Ohio State, just got there, right around the Justin Fields time. So now he's put out Justin Fields into the NFL, who's the second best quarterback in that draft, if not the first. I mean, I think Lawrence had a better season, but completely lost my train of thought because I just saw somebody else pop. I saw a bunch of capitals in the chat. But and now C.J. Stroud. So
that guy does not
is the track record getting better because of the coaching staff?
Yeah, I think that Stroud does not impress me at all. Not me, but that's me. I haven't seen anything to be like, ooh, I'm gonna go pay a number one for him.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Well, I can't see Texans not taking a quarterback because they don't got one, so they have to. But you never know. That's the thing about the draft is, you never know. They have these mock drafts from now until April 26th. The 27th is the draft, right? And but nobody knows until that damn day what's going to happen. I mean, we can guess and talk and this and that, Hey, maybe the Texans and the Bears will work something out, and the Bears will go, okay, who do you want for your number one? All right, we'll draft them, and this is who we want for our number two, and then they'll swap.
Yeah, maybe.
But then the Bears don't get extra draft picks, and I truly believe that's what Poles wants.
Do you know who Marvin Harrison Jr. is?
Yeah, he's Marvin's son.
Yeah, he's a wide receiver for Ohio State right now.
Okay, I didn't.
He is like the next.
Ohio State? Okay, maybe it was. I remember hearing him play, and I was like, oh, Marvin.
He's like the next Randy Moss coming out next year. He can't come out this year.
Okay.
It's very important to me that if we do trade that pick, that we get a first round pick next year, just to double our chances of getting him in the first round.
Yeah, we're not doing any more giveaways of picks right now, first rounds, because we know what happened when we did that. We suffered, okay? And we definitely were behind the ball on that one, and it took us years to make it back up. We only have 7 draft picks right now. So I believe last year we had at least 9, if not more.
We had 5 going into the draft, right? We had 5 at the end of the season, I should say. Yeah.
No, 5.
We had 5 at the end of the season, and then he traded Mac.
And he got, that's right.
He got 2 extra picks, but one was this year, and the other was next year. And then when he got into the draft,
then we went up.
He traded next year's pick back to the same team, actually, or something.
I think you're right.
And ended up getting that pick in this year's draft. So we ended up getting 3 picks out of Mac in last year's draft. It was fucking brilliant.
It is.
By the way, Will Anderson Jr., Bears Capo 23 says, great show. Thank you very much, Will Anderson Jr. We appreciate you. And Kenny Ray also says, shout out to Lake County.
You bet, baby.
I think Kenny Ray, I think he lives in Lake Villa too. Or lived in Lake Villa.
Right on, Kenny. Hey,
Kenny Ray was on the show one day.
Oh, really?
He's going to come back again too, yeah.
Nice. Well, earlier in the show you mentioned about the last time we don't have a good track record because first of all we had to flip a coin in 1970, and okay, you guys are throwing me off. I'm old. You can't do that. Okay, in 1970 we had to flip a coin because we both were 1 and 13 because there was only 14 games then. Obviously, Pittsburgh won. Terry Bradshaw, 4 Super Bowls. In 1949, I don't remember. In 1947, I don't remember his name, but who we picked played 1 year, and he was one and done. In
Bob something. Cliff knows it.
Yeah, I forget it. And in 1940, was it 4? They had or 43, and they had a 1 draft pick 2, and the guy never even played.
We're awesome, Cliff. How are you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining in. Tell us the name of the Cliff. Told us the name on Monday. Bob something. Bob Henneman or something like that.
And then he only played 1 year as a bust, and then the other pick, the guy didn't even play at all. So we have not had good luck, but I was talking, my brother and I were talking about it. That's why I know this. We went back and forth, and I said, but this is different. This isn't the Bears of old. A lot of thing about that I'm kind of tired of is the Bears are cheap. But actually, they're not. The last few years, they've been spent with Pace. He was handing money out like it was Monopoly money, for Christ's sake, and he really was. Here it is, that guy. Yeah,
Bob Fenimore. Thank you, Cliff.
Thanks, Cliff. So, but the Bears aren't the old Bears when it comes to that. They're really not. So I'm not worried about that. And the Bears they know they've got to start winning now because they want this deal in Arlington Heights and they want to fill that stadium. You got to start building a team. or it's not happening. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll see. I don't know. The draft is going to be interesting to say the least. This is probably one of the best off seasons we're going to have than we've had in a very, very long time.
Oh my God, because of all the speculation. Oh,
yes.
There's going to be people saying trade Fields for more picks because we can't get shit for that first pick in the draft. There's going to be people saying, oh, we can get this and that. And there's just going to be so much speculation. It's going to be fucking mind-boggling.
Well, expect polls to go and look at these quarterbacks just for the mind game he's playing with the other teams. He's going to look because he's going to try to have mind games with them, like that happened to us with Pace when we got Mitchell, where he fell for it. Was it San Francisco that hooked him in and wheeled him in? Was it them? One of those teams. And boy, was that a bust. Okay. So now Pace is trying to do the same thing. He loves Justin. We all know what needs to happen. We've talked about it a million times, but now they need an offensive line they don't need to do the whole line. There's some guys that can play. There's 3 that are pretty solid. And if we get Patrick playing the position he should be playing, center, he only played a half a quarter this year, and then you got Jenkins, you've got, and I always get that guy's name wrong, the other rookie, and I keep calling him Black, and he's not Blackwell. What is his name? He's solid, turned out to be
Blackwell.
Thank you. And then oh God, the other guy. See, my brain is so damn pickled. I can't think of their names. But we just need a couple more really solid. I'd like to get a new center, but solid, and then yes, in polls we trust. And then you get some wide
receivers. That's for you, Chuck.
Yes. When we get those wide receivers, he's going to be a pocket passer. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And it's going to happen in 2023. And if it doesn't, he won't be around. Because they're not going to live with a running quarterback. That's not what they signed him for. So I think this year is huge for Poles. I know it's only his second year, but it's a huge year because he's got a lot to work with. So he's got a lot to prove. And Justin in off season better be working on getting that pass, because in 23 they're going to expect a lot from him. That's
boy. I tell you what, if the fucking world is the entire state of Illinois is going to blow up if they fuck this up. If Justin Fields, and I'm not saying that he is, I'm pontificating again. If he fucking turns out to be the same thing again next year,
I know, then we're in trouble.
And some team got a Will Levis at quarterback, or I'm not really that high on any 5'10", 185-pound quarterback in the NFL. So as much as I do love Bryce Young's throwing motion, his flick of the wrist, he throws a beautiful ball. He's
they got him
freaking small to play in the NFL, and he's not like what's his name on the Kyler Murray on the Cardinals, a quick little jitterbug type guy that can at least get out of situations. He's not like that. I don't trust that in the NFL. Will Levis, to me, has a freaking cannon, and he has one of the quickest releases, if not the quickest release I've ever seen in my life. The ball comes out of his hand so fast. We need.
I mean,
right. And that's
what
I was
saying it the other night, that Justin, he's got to work on that release, and I totally agree with you.
Mm-hmm. You need the ball to come out quicker. That could be some of the reason why he was getting sacked. Or, I've seen Aldo on the Bowerham pointed out too, like, why there's a guy right there wide open. Why not? Why aren't you? There's been lots of film breakdown on. There's just throw the fucking ball, and for whatever reason, and I'm kind of, I will say this. This is not pontificating. I'm a little bit worried that maybe that had something to do with he knew he couldn't get it out in time, and because if takes you an extra half second or whatever to wind up your throw, then you already lost your window. So
and then that's it. And then he didn't have the confidence, right? And a little bit on the wide receivers not getting open too. That's why we need some good wide receivers. But yes, you're right. They got to work on that release. I mean, you look at some of these guys. Remember Marino? Oh my God, that guy. He had such. Well, his was so cool because he didn't even have to do. He just flicked it. It was amazing. And even Ben. in
I
Pittsburgh.
challenge. Yeah.
He could.
I challenge anyone here in chat to just go watch some tape of Will Levis, because those are the, I don't, if the kid is smart, and
Which
you
one
and
is
you
he
have,
from?
he's from Kentucky, but with his size and his he's not a running quarterback, but
I know what you're talking about. I watched many of the games.
Cannon, and the ball comes out of his hand so quick. I mean, so quick. It's really impressive. That's what I want to see.
Do you think he would go in the top 10 though?
Oh yeah. He might be the first quarterback taken.
You think so?
Okay. But the time we get into all the, I mean, right now, this is, the season's not even over yet. Once we start getting into that process, you get to the combine. Will Levis is the only one playing at the Senior Bowl, so we're going to see only him in an actual game, and one more game, I should say. So that's going to give him more draft stock. And
Yep. Well,
teams
let's hope that he impresses, right? Because if he does, that's going to help us.
We need him to, right? We need an Indy to. I think Will Levis to Indy sounds perfect.
Oh, okay.
If they can go from 4 to 1.
I don't know where they are, but they have to be in the top 10 because they were bad this year. So they may want to come up and get, and they've got a good rapport with Flus, so that helps. So I don't know. We're like I said at the beginning of the show, it's going to change a billion times before then, and we're not even done with the season. I mean,
I know.
So some
kind of recognition for Lovey would be great. Let's put up a wall of fame, and we'll put Lovey on it. Well, should be on there anyway. He took the team to the Super Bowl.
Wasn't on. We already talked about him.
Yeah.
Maybe he wasn't on yet. We kind of said it. You said what you didn't like, but I liked him. But I just don't think that we can't take him back. No, they fired him. He's not coming back. So we'll see. I don't know about changing the defensive coordinators. To be honest with you, it could have been a little bit of both, but we know there's no talent there. They're terrible. I mean, God, the defensive line was just fucking embarrassing. In one of my shows a couple weeks ago, I ended up counting the tackles that happened. What game was that? It was two. See, it was what we had: Minnesota, Detroit, and who was between? Oh, Bills, and that game, the Bills game, and none of the guys on the defensive line, they had 1 and 2 tackles for the whole game. All the tackles came from the backfield and the linebackers. Oh,
that's terrible.
It's terrible. What does that say? I mean, so
I was trying to find something good defensively from that game, and I did see a real nice stunt play that Justin Jones did, and I was going to pull it up as a highlight on one of the shows, or that show afterwards, and I completely forgot. But I was trying to find something good about it, and he did. There was one nice play that I saw.
Yeah, I mean,
Cliff,
guys have had the flashes. It's not that, and maybe with talent around them, that's what we need. See, I would like to see us get a nice defensive tackle or somebody that's been in the NFL, under 30 years old, been in the NFL, played, bring some experience, and show these guys how to play the line and how to win. We were the lowest in sacks this year, the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, I mean, it was one, not even, it was like barely 1 per game.
Yeah, because I think they ended up with 21 for the season, 20 or 21. Okay. That's it.
So it's like 1.12 per game or something.
Yeah, I mean, we were in last that we were dead last in passing the entire season. I mean, it was so bad. So
I want to address this question from Cliff. Can a non-running QB succeed in the modern NFL? Do you consider Patrick Mahomes to be a running quarterback?
No.
I don't. He's elusive, but he's not a running quarterback.
Of course he's not. No, of course they can.
And I also want to address Brian here. Brian Reberg says Will Levis had 10 interceptions and a 61 QBR with 19 touchdowns. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, that's a head. You got to think about that because we kind of have that right now. I mean,
Brian is starting this Thursday. Bears Country Podcast on Mondays is moving to Thursdays. Oh,
listen to that, Brian.
Yeah, and Brian Reberg is going to be my new co-host. So check us out on this Thursday night at 8:00 Eastern Time, And Brian's also a coach. He's a defensive coach, so he's got some good shit to say.
A defensive
so we're gonna have a lot of fun. He's a defensive coordinator for middle school football.
Nice.
However, it's Georgia, so I mean they're like year round, man. You know, they treat it like it's a fucking Olympics.
Okay, Brian, what were you thinking when you said yes to Dan? I'm just wondering.
Brian's my best friend, so like it's gonna be like you and I hanging out. It's gonna be fucking awesome. We got a lot of stuff coming in here.
How about Burrow? No, he's not a running quarterback. Burrow, he's not a running quarterback. Daniel Jones, although he's not that great, although he has certainly improved under that coach. Who thought they would make the playoffs?
He can run though.
Yeah, but he's not. You know, I think they can. I would prefer, quite honestly, to go back to pocket passers. What?
Hold on a second, Lynn. Chuck Embry says Justin was almost a rookie again and didn't help that Nagy was his coach. God damn it! You know, you had to go and mention.
I'm not even going to get into that. I have zero thought.
Jeez.
Chuck, you got to know the rules. Man, we don't say that guy's name on this show.
I'm not even going to get into that. I have zero thought.
I have zero thought.
Yeah, we know that.
You have zero thought. That's why you're not here anymore. That's why you had your fucking offense do a ring around the rosy. Fucking posy. Ring around the rosy, pocket full of poser.
Saturday at Kansas City when they did that. Well, they called it a snow globe. I didn't know what that meant. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing?
I just coined it. Ring around the rosy, pocket full of poser. You fucking poser. Jeez.
Yeah, you fucking go. Take that damn visor off, would you please?
Thank you, Cliff. I am currently a co-host now on the Ballroom Network. I used to do Bears Country Podcast on Mondays, and I broadcast it from my channel and the Ballroom Network. And then we ended up making good friends. And the Dan and Aldo Bare Their Souls show on the Ballroom Network on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock was my favorite show of all time on the internet. My favorite podcast, my favorite Bears podcast. And I can't believe that I'm now going to be a host on that show on Tuesday nights on the Ballroom. And the show is now called Bare Their Souls. I shouldn't say host. I'm going to be a co-host with Dan and Aldo and Tooch and Nomad and myself. And Cliff here is saying, Dan, I was waiting for you to hit the Nagy button last night because I wasn't running the show. And so Nagy came up for a couple of times, Cliff.
Oh, that must have
I was like,
crazy.
I moved my mouse over to try to hit it. And I'm like, God damn it. And
not my show.
I even said that to him. I'm like, damn it, I keep going over here to try to hit the Nagy button.
I know.
Damn it, I just said his name again.
I don't say his name.
I'm not even going to get into that. I have zero thought.
I said it. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all right. That guy is just like no, I'm not going to say it. Forget it. I'm not. Leave that behind, Lynn. Okay. I almost made a blunder, and I don't want to do that. I want people to watch our show. So I almost brought politics into it. And that's not a good idea.
Hey, what are the three things you never talk with your friends? Politics, religion, and money?
No. Religion and what is the third one? Is it money? I don't know.
I think it's money or
I do
religion,
know that
politics and finances.
I do know it's true though. I do know the politics and the well, you can't talk politics at all with anybody anymore. Forget it. Those days are long over. So
it used to be just casual political conversation.
Oh, God.
Now it's like people hitting the head. They're hitting the other people over the head with a frying pans.
Yeah, man, you can't say nothing, which is kind of sad, but whatever.
It's almost gotten to be that way in the sports world too. You say, like you saw it on Monday. I just questioned Justin Fields the release and getting the ball out quicker.
Oh, I know. That's what I was trying to defend you. I was typing. I'm like, he's right. I mean. And so many people were writing on Monday. I'm like, hey, they're not seeing my messages.
You can't look at everyone through rosy glasses, right? You have to find. Well, not a coach, but I mean, when you're a realist. Right. You got to take the good with the bad. So you have to recognize the bad, and then
Right.
pay attention to that moving forward, seeing if it's getting fixed.
He's got work to do. We talked about this earlier in the season. I don't even count his first year. This year to me was his rookie year. I just don't count last year because we know it was a fuck up year. So this year's his first year, even though we know it's not. And then next year to me will be his sophomore year. And that's when I said it's going to be a lot. I hope and pray. I know I've heard many times these guys are very close. And, you hear other teams, they get together and hang out in the winter and they practice and wherever. I really hope that they do that, Yep. And although Montgomery, I know he said goodbye to everybody like he doesn't think he's going to be back, but
he's probably just recalling the Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn shit that happened,
And you saw that Roquan was signed, right?
Oh yeah, for basically what everyone thought he would sign with for the Bears. Yeah,
well, the Bears weren't going to do it. He didn't want to play here, and we know it. That makes me think, deep down, that I'm wondering if they're not going to sign Lamar Jackson. Maybe they'll go for a quarterback because he has not been playing, and he's his own agent, and his contract's up. So don't be totally surprised on that one. I don't know. Should be interesting to see what happens there, But
that's quite interesting.
Yeah,
they technically have the final pick in the first round now because of the Miami. Miami had their pick forfeited.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Did you know that?
Interesting. Although,
no, you didn't.
As we know,
you're good.
This year you could be the irrelevant man or whatever you say and be the very last person picked. And look what he's doing to San Francisco. Why can't we get that? I mean, I want that.
Yeah.
I'm just, I watch all these games. Me, I'm a football junkie, so it's not just the Bears. And I see week in, week out. I'm like, I cannot tell you how many times I'm like, why can't we have that receiver? Why can't, that's the other thing, Justin. Is, I say it, I do. I'm like, that's what I want. We haven't seen this year. And I just think about it. If we get a wide receiver, even like Mr. Mooney, although he's not super fast, Claypool probably faster. If you could get these guys in stride, he has not really hitting anybody in stride. You watch all these other games and they get these quarterbacks hit these guys in strides and 8 out of 10 times they score touchdowns or they're getting 40 yards. This year they catch it, they're down. Pretty much has been what it's been like all season for the end. And we know that Clement led in receiving, and that's not a good sign when your tight end is your leading receiver on the team. I'm just saying. I know. And your running back is right behind him.
This goes back to what I was saying about
and the Raiders need a quarterback too. Thank you.
I was saying about Greg Olsen. If he, with his current stats, if he would have finished with the Bears with those stats, not to say that he would have had him, but if he did, he would be the leading receiver for the Bears by 3 times.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was
Johnny Morris.
Mike Martz trade. Yeah, thank you, Mark. But then me and my son always say, hey, he did you a favor, Greg. You got on a much better team. So, and because Greg Olsen is a solid guy. I like that guy. And he's a good TV announcer too. It's not like that fuck up that we haven't talked since that guy who did the Detroit game and he called the Bears a scout team. I went, oh my God, I almost lost my mind. He said it twice. And I talked about it on my show, and I even went, I'm not on social media, so I wish somebody out there would have started something like, hey, asshole, don't kick a team when they're already down. I mean, seriously. And then I said, well, you know what, asshole? You're not a good announcer because look what game you're calling. Detroit Bear game. Okay. So you're not very good either, mister.
You're on the fucking scout team too, pal.
Yeah. Look what game you're calling.
Oh my goodness. You're totally right. That's totally right.
Oh, I was livid. And then he did our last game too. And I was just like, oh no, he's back. But he wasn't that mean to the Bears. And I'm wondering if maybe he did get called out on social media because I tried, but I'm not on like that kind of, I don't get into that, but
shit. I don't I barely even know how to use Twitter. I think
I only put my show on it and that's it. I never go back. I never, I just put it on to try to get views. I don't care. I don't, life is already hard enough. I don't want to hear, keyboard bullies, the ones that, they would never say it to your face. It's real easy to be behind a keyboard. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying, I'll tell you to your face. That's for sure.
That's for damn sure.
I know. I may be 5'1", but I don't care.
You're scrappy.
I am scrappy. I am definitely scrappy.
Yeah,
You don't want
scrappy,
to mess with me when I get mad. My son will tell you that. Like he said, you'll know when she's pissed.
Were you there in chat on Monday when Chris Watts got it? He turned into like my little bulldog.
Oh yeah, I was watching.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness, that was crazy.
It was great though. I loved it.
It was very entertaining.
Yes, I was watching. Definitely.
Somebody in chat got on my ass about what I was pontificating about Justin Fields, and Chris Watts
he just went off.
Like I let the pit bull out of the.
You did.
Yeah,
I mean, he was right. I mean, everything he said, Have you seen the, of course we don't have dates, but have you seen they've come out with who the Bears are playing next year?
Yes, I did see that. I'm a little worried.
Are you? I'm not. I mean, of course, Kansas City's on there. I was really bummed. We played the Raiders and Arizona, and I'm like, awesome, but they're both in Soldier Field. I'm like, oh, man. I was hoping they'd be either in Arizona, even though I've seen the Bears in Arizona. I was hoping the Raiders game would be here in Vegas, but it's not.
Wait. No, they don't have the home or aways yet.
Yeah, they did.
They do?
Yeah, they just don't have dates. It's home and away. They put them both. And
I see. Yeah, it's they have the Broncos, Arizona, the Falcons.
Yep.
Broncos, Falcons, Panthers, Raiders, Cardinals, Lions, Vikings, and Packers at home, and then away, Kansas City, San Diego, Tampa Bay. Tom Brady will probably be gone, so that
won't matter.
Washington, New Orleans,
also needs
the
a
Browns. Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess Heineke's not. He's not terrible, but
they played.
Heineke reminds me of like a better version of Kirk Cousins.
Maybe they played the rookie on Sunday, and he beat Dallas quite handily. And Dallas was playing their starters. I watched that game.
Who was the rookie?
Be bad. You know me with names. If it isn't Lynn Hayden, I don't know. No idea. But he was drafted last year. So I think this is his first game. And, I thought, maybe, but I don't know where Washington is in it, but they didn't win a lot either. So we'll see. But that's another team. So there are quite a few teams that, as we start talking, need quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. So,
it's gonna get really interesting because right now everything's calm and collect, right? But when we start getting into the off season and it gets towards draft time and the combine has happened, then the panic starts to set in, the nerves start to set in, like all the teams start to get maneuvering and spreading rumors and all kinds of shit.
That's
and fans do the same thing, and
I mean, there's going to be so many rumors, and yes, I do know the Bears are in LA, so I did see that, and I thought, maybe maybe we'll go to LA. So it's cool to see the Bears in a different stadium. So
what is that, a 5-hour drive?
I don't even think it's that far. It's in LA, so I don't know what part of LA. My girlfriend lives in LA, but she lives, I don't know. See, I don't know where that stadium is. I know it's not in San Diego anymore. So.
That's true.
It's 4 to 5, and that's not bad. I have a friend that lives.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, so I could stay at their house.
That's a very comparable. That's a very good drive. Like 4 to 5 hours. Yeah. That's about it. Like once it gets like to 7, I'm done.
Yeah, it's tough.
Seven's about my. It takes 7 hours to get from our Georgia house to this house, and it's not because we're rich. For anyone out there, it's because we recently lost my mother-in-law, so we now assumed her house, and we're here in Florida now. We're going through everything. So we're here for a little bit, going through everything. It's a process. So
yeah, it sure is.
I feel like people think I'm rich when I say, "Oh, I'm in my Florida house." It's not that.
Yeah,
it's funny because on the Dan and Aldo show last night, it's not Dan and Aldo now. It's Bare Their Souls with myself. Aldo created a new opener. Did you see the opener?
No.
You have got to go back and watch it. It is fucking
I
hilarious.
just got it when the game was. Yeah, I was just turned it on.
He's Dan is saying how I moved. I'm from Illinois and I moved to Georgia and then Florida. How much farther south can he go? Cuba? And he's like, if Ronald Reagan was still president, he would think he's a communist. Like, I didn't move to Florida.
Right. That's funny. That's great.
Stuff. Lynn, you want to have some fun right now?
Okay. I'm a little nervous, but what's on that mind of yours?
Okay, so I have spent a little bit of time making something fun for the show, just to kind of take our minds off of the shitty season and all the draft talk and all that stuff. I came up with a little thing I like to call Superfan Karaoke. It's not long.
Oh no.
Okay, but So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna play you my version of the Superfan, just a segment. It's no more than 20 seconds, and that's only because there's a lot of instrumental in there too. Probably gonna get hit with a copyright for this, but I don't give a shit. But I'm gonna play this so you hear how it sounds, and then I want you to do the karaoke version of it. Can you do that?
I could try.
I know you sent me a birthday video.
Well, now
I know
I'm
you
only
can
good
sing
at the birthday song. Okay, I can't really carry a tune, but I love to sing.
You were amazing. You were amazing. That's why I asked you what your birthday was.
Uh-huh.
All right,
and I have a feeling you won't forget.
No, I won't. It's easy. It's already in my head.
It is an easy birthday to remember.
It's a matter of if I forget at the time.
Right. Exactly. I tried to forget, so I'm gonna be 65.
Like,
although it's Medicare.
Like, I haven't talked to Dan in months. Where's this text? And you're like, oh fuck, it's my birthday.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so we're gonna have a little bit of fun to close out this show. This is Superfan Karaoke. I'm gonna sing you the version of the song that I would like you to repeat without the lyrics. Here's the lyrics, so just listen along. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the other one. Sorry. Here we go. There we go. Oh, how is that the wrong one again?
I thought you were singing.
All right, I keep fucking this up. Hold on, I keep fucking this up. I reloaded the other one. I have them in the wrong order. Here we go. Here we go. Stuck on the Bears. I got a feeling down deep in my soul they're gonna win the Super Bowl. And it starts today. I know, I always feel this way.
Okay, you want me to think of words to that?
No, you have to read the lyrics. You want me to play it one more time for you so you can sing it?
Oh, you want me to sing your lyrics?
Yes, because I have the next one for you. It doesn't have any sound. It's just going to be the lyrics with the music, and you have to sing it.
Right,
you want me to do my version one more time for you?
Yeah. Okay.
You want me to play you mine one more time so you can get it?
Well, do I sing with it or no?
No, you could. If you do, you need it to.
No.
Okay.
Let's try it. Okay, so you're not giving me lyrics; you're just giving me music.
This is karaoke, so you're getting the lyrics and the music.
Oh, okay.
But there's no me singing, so you have to sing.
I will be doing it. Got it.
Okay.
Yep.
Do
Okay.
you need to? You sure you don't need me to play mine one more time?
No.
Okay. All right. Ready? Let's go. Go, Lynn. Go.
I got a feeling.
Oh, you fucked it up already.
Yes. I
You
got it.
got it. Let's sing it along together. Wait, we'll go from here. Ready? Come on. Wait, you gotta follow it when the song starts. Ready? 2, 3, 4. Stuck on the Bears.
Oh,
I got a feeling down deep in my soul. We're gonna win the Super Bowl.
And it starts today. I know I always feel this way.
That might have been too difficult. I mean,
all right.
Oh, boy,
He gave me no warning about this. Okay, I just say.
Oh God, this is the final the lowdown with Dan and Lynn. So, Superfan Karaoke before we end this show.
Right,
we got one more here for you.
I can do. All right.
This one's probably a little bit easier.
Now, am I going to read your words or am I making up my own? See, I just don't get it.
No, you got karaoke, man.
Oh, all right, so read your words. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. There you go. I should say woman.
I always just make
so
up songs. So okay.
Here's an easier one. Once, twice, three times
the Bears.
You're just listening. You're just listening.
God, I love you, Bears.
I love you, Bears.
Okay. So once, twice, three times,
Nice.
the Bears fan.
Yeah.
God, I love you, Bears. Ready? Now you're up. Ready?
All right.
No, that's the wrong one. Oh wait.
Twice.
Hold on. Let's start it over. It was a little. There you go. Ready and go.
One. Twice. Three times the best. And I love the best.
Yes.
God, I
love you, Bears. Yes. Beautiful.
Now I get it. Remember pickles.
Oh God.
See what
That was
happens,
great.
people, when you get to be almost 65 and you partied a lot. You turn into Lynn.
All right, let me try. Let me try mine, and then we'll try the other one, and I'll sing it. And then, if you want, we could try to do it together. Ready? So I'm gonna do this one.
You're going first. Okay.
Yeah, so you can see how it goes. Ready? So you got to follow the music, right? Now you got your lighter out, right? Everyone's got their lighter out,
A lighter.
right? And it goes like this. Ready? 2, 3, 4. Stuck on the Bears. I got a feeling down deep in my soul they're gonna win the Super Bowl. And it starts today. I know, I always feel this way.
Yes, you do. Although at the end of my show on Monday, I did sing a song. You probably haven't watched my show yet.
I meant to watch it today. I so apologize because
it is off of a very few. I took a song from a very popular movie, which I don't know if you've ever watched, but you know, you youngsters probably don't appreciate good musicals. But
what's the movie?
Sound of Music.
Oh, I don't. You got me on that one. I don't like. I don't like musicals.
See, I knew it. I will sing it though when we're done with this. I'll sing it for you though. Okay. So we're gonna do this one together now. Ready? It's gonna be a duet. All right. Ready?
2, 3, 4. Gotta get your lighter going now. Stuck on the bears. The feeling down deep in my soul. They're gonna win the Super Bowl.
And it is gonna start today.
You're so fucking behind.
And I know I'm always feeling this way.
No. You got it all wrong. You're going, and you're trying to sing it like Frank Sinatra. You got to sing like a Bears, like a super fan. You got to be stuck on the Bears. I got a feeling it's quick, it's faster.
I don't think I can do that.
Oh God!
I think we've lost everybody who was in the chat.
I do not think so. The chat is.
Oh God, that's fucking funny.
There's still 8 people watching. That's the most we've had yet. So
there we go.
let's do the other one one more time. Let's do the other one one more time.
Yeah, what's the other one? I don't like the first one. Let's get to the other one.
Once.
Twice. 3 times.
The Bears fan. And
I love you, Bears.
The Bears.
I love the Bears.
God, I love you, Lynn. You are so much fun.
Hey, I'll try anything.
Man.
What the hell?
God,
Except for maybe fun. Not that bathtub with a blunt, okay? I just got to throw that. With my big toe sticking out.
We were on that show and we were drinking. We were fucking good to go at the end of that show. And
yeah,
we
you
were
must
in
have
the
been,
green room at the end.
You came up with
no
that
man's like, man, you know what I want to see? Like her in a tub full of bubbles with just her toes sticking out of her 2 toes sticking out of the bubbles, and she got a big fat blunt in her mouth. And I could just talk to her and be like, "Hey, how you doing, baby?"
Hey,
and I'm like,
going on,
he's like, "Get her on." He's like, "Get her on the phone right now. Get her on the phone." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I'm going to do that.
I'm not gonna do that. Are you kidding me? Oh Lordy, no, baby.
Oh man,
no, she ain't gonna do this. You know, I can do an Elvis. Now, if you want me to talk Elvis, I do an Elvis.
We can do some Elvis.
Oh yeah,
right.
Elvis. Hey, Silla,
let's hear your best Elvis, baby.
Give me a banana and a bacon sandwich. Come on, Silla. Let's go, baby. Come on. What you doing? Come on, baby.
I'm gonna give you a little preview of your birthday song. It's gonna be something like wait, I had it in my head. Let me remember. Happy birthday.
There you go. Love me some Elvis.
I gotta work on it.
I
gotta work on it. I love Elvis, man.
I love
do
him.
You guys, Chris Watt says, do you guys do requests?
Of course. I was just
What's
watching
up, Chris?
documentary the other day, and they were showing his concert from 1970 in Vegas. God, he was so good. What a shame that nobody took care of that man. 42 years old. It's a shame. It's a real shame.
I know. I love the 1967 comeback special. Oh,
yes.
One
he was just something else. You know, that Colonel was a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
He really was.
Did
you see the movie? The movie that they did? It came out last year on Elvis. Oh my God, you gotta watch it.
Oh no, I haven't seen that one.
With
no.
Tom Hanks. Gotta see it.
The kid doesn't sell me.
But he sounds, and he does his own singing, and he sounds just like him. Trust me. Watch the movie.
Really?
You will thank me after you watch it. And then you're going to find out what a fucker the Colonel was. He really was.
Chris Watts says, "Okay, I'll definitely watch it." Chris Watts he's getting requests, so he says, "Suspicious Minds, baby." Chris Watts, I actually I was at a chili fest in Wisconsin, in Edgerton, Wisconsin, and they had it was a 3-block long chili fest. It was amazing, and right on Main Street they had a huge stage set up with, I don't know, 500 chairs or more that people could watch on the stage, and they had live karaoke with a band. So if you got into the karaoke contest, you had no karaoke monitor, and you had a live band behind you, where you were singing that song. So I actually sang "Suspicious Minds."
But you had no words. You had to know it by yourself. Oh,
I had to remember it. It was like, "We're caught in a trap.
Yeah,
I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Don't you know?
Yeah.
Oh, why can't you see?" There you go. There's your
What
your
you're
request.
doing to me.
Me.
Love you.
When you don't believe a word I'm
saying.
saying.
And then he gets all,
We can go on together.
There you go. Man, you're rocking it.
Mine too, Chris. It's one of my favorite tunes too.
Yeah, he's awesome.
No, Victor
Until
Cliff
the
says,
Bears
"Caught in
win
a
his
trap. I
game."
can't go
Yeah,
on
that's
until the Bears
true.
win me."
I hear you.
Till the Bears win me a Super Bowl.
I hear you, Cliff. You know what, Cliff? And the only other person who can't wait much longer is Virginia. She is a fucking 100 years old. Okay. Happy birthday last
Don't get
week
me
to her.
started on that. And happy birthday to you, Virginia
Yeah.
McCaskey. I mean,
She's one hell of a broad. If you ever saw the the documentary called 4 Sundays, it's 4 women who own NFL teams. It's really awesome. That's another thing I'd watch if you like football. And she is
What's it called?
really 4 Sundays, because it's about 4 women that own teams, and it's really good. And you really get to see how cool she is. She still lives in this small average house in Park Ridge. She goes to church every day. Now, I don't know about all the games this year, but up until this year, she went to every game, home and away. She's really quite wonderful. So it was really cool.
her.
I know, me too.
Yeah,
I
definitely will watch that. What's it on? Is it a 30 for 30 or something? Or
I don't know. I saw it when it came out. It came out a couple years ago. It was probably on 30 for 30. I would imagine it was probably where I saw it, because that's usually who has the good ones. So check it out. Yeah, you'll find it. Everything's out there nowadays. So,
what's up, Josh?
Hey, thanks, Josh. I don't know about today's show would be your favorite, but we've done better.
I was curious to see how that would go over. Huh?
What did they just say about Aunt Margaret? Oh, Aaron doing The Lady Loves Me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's coming up with good ones.
Cliff Victoria says, "How about Elvis and Ann Margaret doing The Lady Loves Me? The Bears love me, and I love." See, I thought you would. I wanted to do this with you too on one of the shows, Cliff, and we never got around to it. Well, but I thought you would be good at this.
See, Cliff? Well, you got.
Cliff already kind of has that. He kind of already talks like a super fan when he's talking already.
Yes, yeah, I don't talk. I'm terrible. Well, I can't do accents. First of all, my son laughs. He always says, "Yeah, Ma, do an Irish accent for me. Come on, just do it for the heck of it." I'm like, "Shut up! I'm not doing it." Because I'm terrible, and I'm almost all Irish. So that would be a good segment for one of your shows, just like a 5-10 minute segment to lighten the mood, and a little Bears karaoke. Just an idea.
Yeah, a little Superfan karaoke.
Yeah, see, you're welcome. Okay, I will give you the treat of what I did on my show Monday if I can remember the words. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
It's anybody who knows do your accent, Chris? Oh God, I don't think I see. Now I'm talking like I'm Irish, and I'm trying to do an English accent, and now I'm talking Irish. I see what I mean. I can't do it.
It was gonna have. I can't fucking do it. Man.
I can't do them. Even
it's
though
like a little bit of John Lennon in there. It's hard to do.
It's hard. I watch so much British TV. I love British TV. I watch it all the time. And you think I could do their accents. But, Chris, I cannot. See?
Chris, you have a very awesome and unique accent. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love talking with Chris because, like I've said it a million times.
Oh, I love him.
It's like a puzzle goes out into the air and my brain's like, fuck. And it has to take all these pieces and put it back together and go, that's what you said. I love it.
I love it. I love it, Chris. I love you. I love you. Oh, I kind of did it. I love you. Dan,
I love you, Chris. You almost got into a street fight for me the other night. You know I love you, Chris.
We do, man. I hope that you can raise money.
I tend to get to the Irish accent too.
Yeah, the Irish accent seems to be easier,
Seems to be the easiest one to do,
It does. It does.
Mm-hmm.
So are you even close to getting money? How much money do you have for Chris? Do you know?
So far for Chris, we have $141 raised. In fact, why don't I just go ahead and or no, did I say 141? $140 raised.
Oh, okay.
But it's only been a few weeks since I did it. In fact, I should run that right now real quick because I forgot to do that during the show.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it on my show too a couple times, and then I forgot, but I did try. But we'll see.
I love you too, Chris. Love you too.
Yeah, we do.
For anybody listening to this on the audio stream, if you would like to donate to the Chris Watts GoFundMe account, which is for Chris Watts from Yorkshire, England, because you can't actually see what's on the screen there when I'm playing that. Chris Watts from Yorkshire, England is he's a huge Bears fan ever since '85. We're trying to get him to the United States to see the Bears play in Soldier Field. It's a goal that I have set. I'm trying like hell to make this happen. I really hope that we can.
Be awesome.
Lynn, you've donated to it. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Aldo has donated to it as well. So we're trying to just get this $5. I mean,
yeah. If everybody
I put like $6,000 as the amount in there, but
you don't need that much.
Well, I know, but I wasn't sure about hotel and all that shit and game prices. True. So, and I was also thinking he's never been on a plane that long. Like, why would I want to stuff him in the middle of a fucking, for however long that is, 12-hour, 8-hour, 9, 10-hour flight stuffed in a, I want to give him business class, fuck, let's give him his own pod for that, But it really wouldn't. By the time we've got people that have given him a place to stay. We've got people. I've already got the tickets lined up for him. Yeah. So it really is not going to take that much. If we can just raise half of that, or even a quarter of that, that should be enough to at least get him here.
So
Yeah.
And I told you, if this happens, I'm going to work on the Bears, and we're going to make this a big deal. I swear to God, who's ever broadcasting, unless it's that douchebag from a couple weeks ago, they call us a scout team. I'm going to get them to say something like, put the camera and go, "Ooh, this guy's from England." I'll make it happen. I swear I'll make it happen.
You do it. You do it.
Get the money, and I'll get them on TV.
Tiff says, "I'm cooking and having you guys on my headset." Thank you so much, Tiff. I hope we're entertaining you.
Thank you. Well, we're doing something today. I don't know.
Chris says they would kick me out of business class.
Me too, Chris. They're like, "Wait, you don't belong here."
I mean, we have all the way till next season, so we got to make this happen. Right. And
we're some time.
We're gonna try our best, man.
Just keep trying. You never know. You might have a really generous person who's loaded, and they can put in a big chunk, right?
Yeah, we never know. Yeah.
If I was Chris, I would put in. I paid for the whole thing, but I'm super poor, so forget it.
And here's the shitty part, right? The money that gets put into there, I had to set up my bank account to it, so it automatically gets transferred to my bank account. So I have to put it into my savings, keep track of that. But they take a fucking percentage of it.
Of course they do.
So if I only get $500 and I can't make it happen, then what am I gonna? I mean, do I give that back to the people? Because then I have to pay the fucking difference.
No.
How does that
if
work?
For some reason, if you make $500, Chris might just say, "I'm coming anyways." Or if he says no, you know what you do? You give it to charity.
Yeah. Well, I'd probably just give it to Chris.
Yeah, or Chris. Yeah. But yeah, or Bears, if Chris said no, or Bears charity, whoever they like to, something like that. So we'll see.
That's
though.
a good idea.
It would be fun. I hope it happens. I really, for Chris's sake, I really do. He's a cool dude.
Chris says, I'm going to start doing favors for bored middle-aged housewives. Get the tongue ready, buddy.
There you go. That might work, Chris. That might work. There are a lot of them out there.
start doing some tongue push-ups, Chris.
Is Chris married?
No, I don't believe.
Oh, he's single. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just asking. That's all. I don't know.
Oh, I see what's going on over here.
No, I'm a little old for Chris. Okay, I'm much older than all you guys. And by the way, Dan, no, I was not born. I was not alive in 1947. Jerk.
I know you were.
I'm just kidding.
I said you weren't.
10 years later, maybe.
Yeah, you're right around. Well, you're younger. You're right about my mom's age. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm 64. Almost 65.
Yeah, my mom's 65.
Yeah, I'm closer to 65 than 64, but that's okay.
That's why I call you Auntie Lynn.
That's right. That's what everybody calls me. Whatever.
Well, Lynn, I'm sad. I mean, the show has got to come to an end here. And
I know it is. We got to do that. I'll have to sing. I'll sing my song after that. I am sad, but I do want to say, first of all, thank everybody. Because I know you're going to be on the air, but not this show. But I want to thank everybody who watches. If you know me personally, I know you guys don't, but
Cliff Victoria says,
"But I'm married."
Darn.
Damn. And I don't cheat with married men because I don't do that with women. So sorry, Cliff. I do want to thank you all for watching. It's meant a lot to me. If you knew me personally, you know what I say. I mean, and Dan, I love Dan. We have became fast friends. We just met. He found me on my show, my YouTube. He just came across it one day and he reached out to me and he's like, you want to do a show? Okay. And now we're going to do season 2 next year. That's pretty cool to say, isn't it?
It is pretty cool to say. And hopefully you'll come on with us for some exciting moments here and there,
Yes, I will come on the other shows. I just need a little advance. Once I'm in my zone, you know me, I'm not doing it.
I get it. You're going to Lady Hibernation. I get it.
Yeah. So, but I will for sure.
Lady Bear Hibernation.
And I'm pretty sure we're going to have a lot to talk about next year. And in the off season, I'll be back a little bit. But I do want to thank you, Dan, for reaching out to me. Oh, thank you, Chris. I love you. Am I still on?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. And I want to thank you, Dan, for reaching out to me. I mean, you didn't have to do that. And we found out he grew up a few miles from where I lived. And I lived there 32 years.
30 plus years.
Yeah, 30 something years. We lived a couple miles apart and probably bumped into each other somewhere along the way. And look at us now.
I had to have.
We're doing a show. And hopefully I'm going to get Miss Kitty and Dan out here to Vegas and we'll go party. And yes, definitely.
But for the 2024 Super Bowl, baby.
Oh, that would be the best. But I do want to thank you. I've had a blast. This has been a lot of fun. The year, it was a tough year, but we did have some laughs. And it was a pleasure. I could call you my friend. I have a new friend, and at my age, you don't make friends too often anymore. Trust me.
At my age, you don't make too many friends
People
anymore.
Are not,
you've got them in your. You already got them in your bag.
Buddy, my core, and that's it. People just don't want to do it. I'm just telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know why old people get cranky. Now I'm getting it. I'm there, and I'm like, yeah, I get it now.
Cranky.
Life kind of sucks.
But then you're like, well, it's better than being dead.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I get to watch my bears,
every fucking morning. I wake up and my back is like, oh my god.
We don't even want to start on that.
I guess this is better than being dead.
I mean, I got a knee that is I'm working on my second ACL probably this year. Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I've had one replaced, and the doctor's like, yeah, it's happening. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. So.
My mom needs both of her knees replaced, and
they just I beat on them too much when I was young. Everything. A little piece of advice to people out there: be careful what you do, because trust me, it comes back to bite you in the ass when you're in your 60s. All those stairs I fell down. fell down a few. I will not lie. Oh yeah, I feel every one of them now.
All those doors that I punched from Bears losses, I've got nerve damage in my hands now.
Yeah, exactly. I have a rotator cuff problem because I was getting so mad, at the TV.
For all the remotes you've thrown at your televisions.
Exactly. But no, all kidding aside, it's been a great year. It's been a lot of fun. And everybody who's actually turned us on, I feel like I've made other friends, Chris and Cliff and Nomad, although he scares me a little bit. But you guys are great. So thank you. Thank you for letting me into your world. I'm much older and you guys let me in, and it's been a lot of fun.
No, thank you for coming into my world, because, you didn't. I remember I saw just one morning. I woke up and I was checking my own channel, and I logged on, and there was just your feed there. I was like, oh, who's this? And I go in there. I was like, oh. I'm like, what in the fuck? I'm like, this is awesome. I love this woman. I've got to talk to her. Yeah, and then I tried to put my email in the comments, and every time I would be like, Lynn, whatever I would type in, I would be like, please reach out to me. And I'd put my email in there and I would send it, and it would look like it would send, but I would go back and check it 2 hours later to see if you responded, and it wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Right. And I did that one more time.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea, because you never know what kind of email.
You never know. Right. So then I just decided to put in the comments, please check my channel and email me. I would love to talk to you. And you didn't have to do that. You could have been like, fuck that. I don't have time for this,
Oh, please.
But
I have a lot of time.
You took your time out to do that. And we have been having I'm going to be completely honest with you. You have made this season fun for me. I mean, I was doing this podcast on my own, and I had Nomad in the beginning, and then I got onto the bar room, and that was kind of like almost nerve-wracking, and then I got to doing this podcast with you, and it just got me settled down and unnerved and completely being myself, and you fucking crack me up so much. You and I have become great friends. I truly do love you. I truly do love you.
Feeling is the same. And Miss Kitty too. Tell her she rocks. I love her. I can't wait to meet her.
And
I know that's
Kitty
not a real name,
too.
but I like calling her Miss Kitty, because she reminds me of a very dear friend who has passed away, and I'm just like, I bet she's just like her too. With the name Kitty.
She might be. Well, it's her last name is half of that, so that's how it gets there.
And we know what her real name is, but we don't need to say it, because not everybody needs to know. Miss Kitty
didn't take my last name, because she's in the film industry, and everybody knows her in the film industry.
So
her name,
you can understand that. So,
right.
But no, I do appreciate it. So I will and before we sign off, I will give you my serenade, if I can remember the song I sang.
Please do.
And I just made it up right there. I didn't plan it. It just came out. All right. You ready?
Okay.
And if people know The Sound of Music, it is from The Sound of Music. All right.
I'm going to sit back and relax to this.
All right. It's not that long. You won't fall asleep. All right. So long, farewell. I'll see you Bears fans next year. This year was not good. As a matter of fact, it sucked. Goodbye. 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 And it's from a very famous scene in that movie.
And I'll add my own little song to this, since this is the karaoke version of this show.
Right.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with and in the end, the love we share is equal to the love we. I forget what the last word is. We make. Is that what it is?
There you go. You can take that.
Or is it opposite? Yeah.
My words are all made up.
Do you remember Breakfast with the Beatles in Chicagoland when they would sign off with that?
Terry Hemmert?
Yeah.
On XRT?
Yeah, she always signed. She probably still does.
I listen to it I still listen to WXR.
Me too. I know. Yeah, so do I. I love it.
I love it too.
She usually always signed up with that.
Not on anymore, but every Sunday morning, breakfast with the Beatles.
Love we make.
That's right.
Is equal to the love. We fucking. I can't think of the last word. Share.
Yeah, isn't it? Share.
Share. Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, that was a great show. You kidding me?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
Good old
all right. Well.
So yes,
this young lady over here is going into lady bear hibernation, and we're gonna make sure if you love her like I do, set your notifications for Bears Country Productions now. Bears Country Podcast is under that production, and take a look for the notifications because you never know when Lynn might pop up here and there.
I'll be back in March. After the draft,
mm-hmm.
and then what I love saying more than anything, and in August, season 4 of Let's Talk Chicago Bears.
And make sure you get your shit together for that, and subscribe and set your notifications for that, because when she comes out of hibernation, she's gonna have a lot of fun with this team next year.
Oh, yeah, I need this hibernation a little bit. They wore me out, but I'll be back. Fresh, new material. And we will talk free agency and draft. And then, and you know what? You can always go back and look at my shows. I mean, I have 3 years full of shows. So if anybody.
She is a fucking blast to watch. It doesn't really matter what time.
Actually, if you really want to laugh, you should watch last year's, because boy, did I get work up over that idiot coach. Pretty much every week. I had a lot to say. I had the most views when he got fired. I had 500 views on that show because they all knew, she's going to be entertaining. And
I'm not even going to get into that. I have zero thought.
All right. Well, let's kill this show, Lynn.
Thank you. And Chris, bye. It's been a blast. And I'll probably see Chris on some of your shows and Cliff. So I'm sure I'll see these guys because I'll be tuning in for sure. But thank you all for watching. Great. Seriously. And you and I will be in touch.
Yes, we will. You and I are going to remain friends. We are now friends forever. We'll definitely be doing more in the future. Thank you. You're like my Auntie Lynn.
Yeah, you're like my other son. You are. So, yep.
Thank you. So we'll keep in touch. We'll make sure that we get out to see you too, because that's going to happen. I kind of want. My friends were just in Vegas, and now I got the itch because they were telling me their stories. Like, I love playing blackjack, but I don't like going to casinos locally. I like going to Vegas. That's where I play my blackjack.
Oh, so you go on the Strip?
I like to go to Fremont Street, even.
Oh, you like to go downtown? Okay.
Yeah, I like to get where it's nitty gritty, the old school.
Yeah, because you're not going to win on the Strip, people. I'm just saying, unless
it's a minimum $25 hand.
You got to be a high roller to win on the Strip. You got to either go to Fremont or the local casinos. That's where you're going to win. Trust me, I know it enough.
I know it.
Here. Yeah.
So have I. I've been to Vegas 10 times, and the first 3 times were in the big hotels, and like the last 5 times I stayed on Fremont Street. I mean,
I can tell you where to stay for sure if you come. Believe me, I can set you up. So Well,
we're going to need a campsite because we're going to be pulling our camper with our dogs.
That's right. So that's the problem. We're going to we'll talk. We'll talk.
We got plenty of time for that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Lynn, I love you so much. Thank you so much for this. It's been amazing, and we will see you again.
Oh yeah.
I'll
pop up on one of Dan's shows. You'll just never know when I'm going to be there.
All right, guys. Until then, ready? You want to do the breakdown? The final one of the season. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Bears! I gotta get all my shit ready. Here we go.